Hello there, Mr. Sutton here, bringing you the IM3 7-8 Part 1 homework solutions on converting between degrees and radians.
On this one, I want to convert 4 pi over 3 radians into degrees, so I will multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's are going to cancel, and to do this without a calculator, we just have 180 divided by 3, which gives me 60, and then 4 times 60 is 240 degrees. For this one, I'm trying to convert 180 degrees into radians, so I multiply by pi over 180. The 180s actually just cancel out, so this is just pi radians. For this one, trying to convert negative 240 degrees into radians, so let me multiply by pi over 180. And now I just have to reduce these. 240 and 180, both reducible by 60, so this is going to be negative 4 pi over 3. For this problem, trying to convert 600 degrees into radians, let me multiply this by pi over 180. And now, when I'm reducing these are definitely both reducible by 60. So let me see here. That would give me 10 with a pi over 3. For this problem, trying to convert negative 210 degrees into radians, let's multiply that by pi over 180. And I can reduce those now by 30. So that would be negative 7 pi in the numerator over 6. For this one, trying to convert negative 80 degrees into radians, let's multiply it by pi over 180. And 80 and 180, those can both be reduced by 20. So this is negative 4 pi over 9. For this problem, I'd like to convert 300 degrees into radians, so I can do that by multiplying by pi over 180. And reducing 300 and 180, those are both divisible by 60, so that gives me a 5 pi over 3. For this one, trying to convert into degrees, so I multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's are going to cancel. 180 divided by 9 gives me 20 in the numerator. Negative 22 times 20, that's going to be negative 440 degrees. For this one, I'm trying to convert 0 into, well, let's see, what is it currently? This is actually radians right now. I know this because there's no degree symbol. So I'm trying to convert 0 radians into 0 degrees. Well, if you really need to be long-winded about this, you can multiply it by 180 over pi. That's how you convert something into degrees. But 0 times anything is still 0, so this is just also 0 degrees. To convert negative 11 pi over 6 radians into degrees, we multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's cancel. 180 and the 6 cancel to give me 30 in the numerator. Negative 11 times 30 is negative 330 degrees. For this one, I'm trying to convert 3 pi radians into degrees. So let's multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's cancel, so we just have 3 times 180, which is 540 degrees. For this problem, we have a measurement in degrees, and we want to convert this to radians. So to do that, we have to multiply by pi over 180. And if we do that, we're basically just reducing 105 and 180. So these are both reducible by, you might not see it at first, but 15 is actually the fastest way to reduce those. So how many times does 15 go into 105? Well, that would be, let's see here, I believe it's 7. So we would have 7 pi. And then 15 goes 12 times into 180. So that would be 12 down there. So 7 pi over 12. For this one, we have something in degrees that we want to convert to radians. So to do that, we multiply by pi over 180. And now we just have to reduce 160 over 180. Those are both divisible by 20. So this is going to be an 8 pi in the numerator over 9. For this one, we have something in radians, which we know because there's no degree symbol, and we want to convert it to degrees. So we're going to multiply this by 180 over pi. So the pi's are going to cancel. And then it helps if you know your factors of 180. 180 divided by 12, that actually gives us 15. So now we just have to multiply 13 by 15. Well, 15 times 15 would be 225. That's one of those perfect squares that's good to know. So this is going to be 30 less than that. So 225 minus 30 gives us 195. So that's 195 degrees. Just looking for ways to do this without relying on a calculator. For this problem, we have something in radians that we want to convert to degrees. So I'll multiply by 180 degrees over pi. Pi's are going to cancel. And then 180 over 9, that's going to reduce to 20. So we've got 11 times 20, and that's going to be 220 degrees. On this problem, I'm trying to convert something in degrees to radians. So let me multiply by pi over 180. And now we're basically just reducing negative 90 over 180 and putting a pi on top. So that's going to be negative 1 pi over 2. For this problem, I'm trying to convert something in radians to something in degrees. So to do that, let me put my degrees in the numerator, 180 degrees over pi. That's what I'm going to multiply by. So my pi's happen to cancel. That's nice. And then 180 over 4, I can reduce that to be, let's see here, 45 in the numerator. So now I just need to do negative 13 times 45. So I'm trying to do this without a calculator. And I know that 10 times 45 is 450. So this is going to be, let's see, 3 times 45 I know is 135. 450 plus 135, that's going to be 585 with a negative out in front. Or I guess you could just use long multiplication, but that's how many degrees we have. On this one, I'm trying to convert 480 degrees to something in radians. So I'll multiply by pi over 180. And now I need to reduce 480 over 180. So let me think. What's the biggest thing these are both divisible by? I believe that would be 60. So if I divide 480 by 60, that's going to be an 8 with a pi in the numerator. And then 180 divided by 60 gives me 3 in the denominator. For this problem, I'm looking to convert something in radians to something in degrees. So I'll multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's are going to cancel. And I can reduce the 180 with the 4. If I divide those, that ends up giving me a 45 where the 180 used to be. 7 times 45, what's that going to be? Well, if I, let's see here. I know that 6 times 45 is going to be, it's like 3 times 90. That's 270. Plus another 45 gives me 315. And we have a negative out in front. So that's negative 315 degrees when all is said and done. On this problem, I'm looking to convert something in radians to something in degrees, and I know this is radians because I don't see the degree symbol. So multiplying now by 180 over pi, let's see what we get. Pi's are going to cancel, and then I can reduce the 180 and the 6. That's going to give me a 30 in the numerator. So we have 19 times 30. Well, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but I know that 20 times 30, just trying to use no calculator here, 20 times 30 is 600. So this is going to be 30 less than that. So that's going to be 570 degrees.